That's it. Responsible self. We're fighters. The fighters. Every day, responsible self. Well, good morning and welcome to My Help My Mississippi, number one station in the nation that's providing you with some great, helpful, healthy information right here on WMPR 90.1, where you're about to get some information you can grab on the run, make a difference in your life for the rest of your life. Thank you so much for always being a part of this show every Thursday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. early in the morning. But we're trying to get you out and about on the right track. We're talking about focusing on better health, mind, body, and medicine. Listen, you deserve to be healthy. You are worthy to be healthy. I'm Chef Charles, and I am happy to be able to bring you this information this morning that we know is going to help you get through your day. First of all, I want to start off by saying high blood pressure is not mandatory. Let that be known. Write that down. It is not mandatory. We don't care if mom and them had it or not. That doesn't mean we got to wake up with it, go to bed with it, die with it. No, it's not about that. Look, it's all about the food that we put into our system. And we got to be careful. We can't put anything in the system and expect it to be feeling better and doing better. And high blood pressure is not mandatory. And again, I want to say type 2 diabetes is not mandatory. No, it's not. It's reversible. All about the food that we put into our system, guys. Am I right? You know I'm right. And I'm here to bring it to your attention to tell you that, guys, uh, you don't have to have your toes and your leg and, amputated because of the issues with diabetes type 2. No, you don't. We got to make some changes, though. And the changes may be tough because we've been taught wrong for so long. You develop habits, and now these habits have you. And so, what you gonna do, right? So, it's decision is up to you now. You got to make some changes, and I'm gonna give you some tips on how to do that. Okay, and high cholesterol. High cholesterol is a sign that your blood is not flowing the way it's supposed to flow because of stop if blockage is in your bloodstream and your veins, and you need to stop putting a lot of butter and a lot of oil and a lot of grease in it because that's clogging the clog, and those are kind of things that you need to know. But that's not mandatory. We don't have to continuously put grease and oil and butter, things that clog our arteries, right? To keep our blood from flowing. We want our blood to flow like it's supposed to. Blood should flow like water, not like oil in the wintertime. So it's not mandatory for you to have high blood pressure. It's not mandatory that you have high cholesterol or type 2 diabetes. No, it's not. So we got to move and we got to change some of the things that we're putting into our system. And how do we do that? Well, first of all, you can't keep doing the same thing you've always done and expect to have a different outcome. You can't, not put gas in your car and expect your car to operate the way that it's supposed to. That's not the way life is. You know, the way life is, whatever the manufacturer calls for, if what does your manufacturer call for? What kind of gasoline you supposed to place in your car? Is it unleaded? Is it premium unleaded? But here's what I know for sure: whatever it is that the car calls for, this is what you're going to do. You know why you're going to do it? Because that's what it calls for. Well, I'm just here today to tell you the body is calling for some things too. Okay, and we got to do what the body needs from us. Maintenance. And that's about the food that we're going to put in our body. And to help you do that, we want to bring you different ways to do it. And I have someone here today. She's a CC in the community. What CC stands for? That's community champion. That means when we have a CC on the show, that means that they're doing something in the community that's making a difference, that's helping you. And these kind of people are out in the community everywhere, and they're doing some major things. So, Angie, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
We are so happy to have you a part of My Help My Mississippi, because you're doing some things in Mississippi that's making a difference in Mississippi for the people here in Mississippi. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody your name and where you're from and how tall you are. No, I'm just kidding. You gotta go that far.
So good morning, everyone. I'm Angie Miles Griffin, born and raised in Edwards, Mississippi. I'm a salon owner. I also own a small gym. I teach Sunday school. I'm married to a pastor of the Gathering Place located in Clinton, Mississippi. I am a lifestyle coach for a diabetes program that I run in Edwards, and I also have a small local nonprofit in Edwards, empowering our youth and reaching our seniors.
You see why she's a CC? That's a community champion right there. Is there anything else on your resume? Because that was a long.
Not much. I mean, I'm a mother. I have three kids, two girls and a boy, and I have two grandkids. So I'm proud of that.
Yes. So you are doing some things. So from Edwards.
hmm
Now, are you still living in Edwards?
Still living in Elwood. I've never wanted to move from my community because I've always wanted to give back. Um, a lot of people want to make it, so they leave to make it, but I feel that I can make it right where I am because it's not about a certain number of zeros in your account, because we should have an eternal perspective in everything that we do. So it's not about even attracting large numbers as long as you're effective with the people that you're right in front of. I think that's what's most important. So I've never wanted to move.
Wow.
I like to travel, but I love
Yeah.
home.
And it's nothing like home, making a difference right there, where the people made a difference in your life when you was growing up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, tell us how you got to where you are. I mean, being a life coach and growing up. What did you? I mean, what did you aspire to be growing up?
Well, I thought I was gonna be an accountant,
Okay.
but I got pregnant in high school, so that led me to be a hairstylist. But more so in the health realm, I noticed when I was young, my grandmother, whenever she would go to the doctor, she always had a Ziploc bag full of pills. So many bottles. I don't know how many bottles of pills she had, but I always said that is something I never want to have to do. Take that many pills or take pills at all. So I've always been conscious of my weight and tried to, keep my weight down. But after my third child, I got up to 215 pounds. And so I know I had to do something different. So that's when I joined a local gym in Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked out with her and got down. And, I had to drive. So I was like, this is something that I could bring to my community. And the Lord put it in my spirit, but a lot of the times the devil try to tell you you're not worthy, you can't do this. But I just stepped out on faith, found a place, and the Lord just works everything out in his timing and according to his purpose. So found a building, we renewed it and everything, and brought the community a gym.
Brought the community a gym. Because you saw all those medications
Yeah.
that
My grandmother.
grandmother was taking. Yeah. Uh, And I saw the same thing, but they wasn't taught that they could come off some of that medicine. And I like what you were doing with working with people with diabetes type
Mhm.
2 now, helping them to realize something that your grandma, my mom didn't realize. And that is type 2 diabetes is not mandatory.
Mhm.
You don't have to keep it and lose your toes and your ankles and your leg because of it
Right.
if you make some changes.
If you make some changes. And that's the hard part because we're in this flesh and we human. So
Mm-hmm.
the body and the people like what they like. So it's like you have to deny the flesh daily. It's a process of daily
Yeah.
renewing your mind because ultimately your health is more important. So do you make the sacrifice of indulging in this pleasure or looking long term? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I try to, make them think, is this temporary moment of satisfaction worth the long term ramifications of what, these foods are going to cause?
Mm-hmm.
So there's also a mayoral health council. That's how I was introduced to the program that's offered through UMC. Um, Mayoral Health Council always brings in people to the community to talk about different health issues.
Okay.
So I introduced myself to the young lady. I think her name was Aurora Diaz, or it might have been another lady. But anyway, when I made that connection, that's when she reached out to me because they wanted to bring these programs preventing type 2 diabetes to the communities because we know in a lot of small communities they cannot get, you know, to places that they need to be all the time. Right. So they brought it to different communities in Hinds counties as well as other counties. So that's how I got into the diabetes and became a life coach.
Wow. And that is, I know it, by the way, guys, Edward, Mississippi is, I don't know what's population there,
Under 1,000.
under 1,000 people. And the reason that I call Angie a community champion is because you're right. Some of our little towns, I know, like Port Gibson. I think that's where we met. Well, not
No,
Port Gibson.
we met in Jackson at one of the meetings
At
for
one of the
Chan.
meetings,
Mhm.
okay, which is some group getting together.
Right.
So we run in the same circle in
Right.
a sense and trying to help people, make some changes in their
Yes.
life. So, but some of these little communities go lacking more so than some of the big ones, and the big one is going lacking. So you understand that the small one is totally forgot about, unless you just grow up there and you decide to stay there and make a difference, or travel there and make a difference. So I can really appreciate you doing that for your hometown. But I'm trying to wrap around my head because I'm looking at you now. 215 pounds you got up to? I can't see it. How'd you get that off?
Just working out and eating right. I was really, really focused, and my coach Bridget Brooks, shout out to Beast Mode. That's where I got really, really into the eating part because you can lose the weight, but if you don't know the basics of what and how to eat,
Right.
you yo-yoing.
I like that word, yo-yo.
Yeah.
I'm back and
So
forth.
she is very knowledgeable in her field of being a fitness trainer of nutrition as well as getting the weight off through
Yeah.
being physically active.
Yeah, I always say you got to feed your body, but you feed your mind, and you got to
Because
do it
that's
all the
where
time.
all of it starts, right?
Yes.
In the mind.
Yeah, and it's difficult. It's difficult to do that. Let me pull that mic there.
Okay.
They're saying that you're saying some important stuff, and they don't want to miss nothing. That's what they're saying. But the idea that getting that mind together, which is the hardest part.
It is.
How do you find yourself you work with some seniors, right?
Mm-hmm.
With type 2 diabetes. How do you try and get into their mind, feed their minds so they'll realize that, hey, you don't have to have this. It can change. How do you do that?
So you really have to start small. You cannot put too much on a person at one
Yeah.
time. encourage them to make the small changes. And once you see them making that change, then you can add a little bit more. So trying not to tell them that it's it's all or nothing. It's never all or nothing, but it's
Right.
small steps that lead to big changes.
Hmm.
And then, I mean, first and foremost, if you don't have a relationship with God, everything is going to be so much harder. So I always bring Him into whatever I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, keep things in perspective, right?
So,
Yeah. Uh, tell us about the gym that you have there. It's in Edwards.
mhm.
You started it. How long? How long has it been?
Today is our anniversary.
What?
3 years the Lord has allowed us to be open in Edwards. Is it busy? Is it booming? No. But despise not the small beginnings. So
Right.
it's still going. So I'm thankful for that. Today is also my 49th birthday. So I'm
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you, thank you. But yeah, it's on Old 80. That gym used to be Miss Nurista. Do you remember her? She was the mayor of Elwood. She had a
Yes.
small store there.
Uh-huh.
So it was just built up with nothing but weeds, grass, and everything. We went in and what's the word I'm looking for? You know, when you go in and you know what people doing now, and
Yeah,
I
you
can't think of
yeah, I
it.
know
But
what you're talking
anyway,
about. You
we went in.
rebuilt the
Yeah,
thing. Yeah. You
we
went
went
in and
in and did it over. So we have 2 ellipticals, we have 2 treadmills, we have 2 bikes, we have free weights, we have a functional trainer. We have a lot of different stuff. We have the medicine balls, kettlebells. Um, we have bands. It's something in there that everybody can use to, start the fitness journey.
that is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah. So and how often are you open every day and what time?
So the gym is a 24-hour gym. You have access to it at any time of the day or
In
night.
Edward, Mississippi?
So you just put
24?
in a little code and you go in if you
That's
have a
big
membership.
time for Edward
Nah,
now.
But I also I run classes Monday through Friday morning at 5 a.m.
Uh-huh.
and Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening at 6:30.
Okay. I thought we had a call you on the air.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We doing good.
Good morning.
Well, congratulations on your 3rd year. Happy birthday, and the word you're looking for, revitalized.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you.
Appreciate.
Yes,
All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
all right.
Thanks. So your 3rd year and you have 24 hours. Yeah, because I said that because my gym don't have 24 hours access. So that's cool. I like that. And you're working with seniors.
That's what I do with the nonprofit.
Okay.
And with the diabetes class, I just started the class where just to get your week going good. Last week was our first week that we met and did like a 30-minute class, some type of movement, just to keep
a
them
little
motivated.
bit of moving, right? Yeah. Just like you said, even a little bit of your change, all of that going in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah. Don't let it be overwhelming.
Exactly.
You know.
Try to make it fun.
Oh, it has to be fun. Yeah. Even my, even my cooking shows. I mean, it's fun. I gotta have some fun.
Yeah. Because when we got through, they was like, we could do this every Sunday. I'm like, we are. And if you cannot be in person, guess what? We can do Zoom. So I have my Zoom up for those that cannot make it physically, as well as I'm there in the gym. And then with the seniors, I go to the community center at least once a month to give them some movement. So we'll do chair exercises, and then they like doing Soul Train. So we just do different stuff. Some of them
that older
line
people
dance.
remember Soul Train. Yes.
I mean, the music gets them moving because also it brings back memories. So
Yes.
stuff like that.
Well, and you teach class, like you had a class this morning?
Yeah, Yeah, I did. I invited a few people that once was a part of the gym to come work out with me. So we had a good time this morning.
Wow.
They some of them didn't come because they prefer the extreme hip hop because that's more so like movement and dance on the board versus
Uh-huh.
the weights. But I tell them all things work together. You got to do something different and change it up.
Right.
So yeah, a few of them came and we had a good time.
Good. Well, listen, we appreciate you getting up early, having your class, and then being a part of My Help My Mississippi because the people needed to hear some of the things that you're doing over there in Edward, Mississippi, a small community, but you are doing some big things. And that's what we need in the community, Angie. We need people just stepping up
Yeah.
because we have been taught wrong for so long, right? Our eating habits. I mean, we eat any and everything and expect the best return from the body.
Exactly.
So, how do we get people to, like you lost a lot of weight? If you were you lost a lot of weight, and weight can be an issue for a lot of people, and it can cause some. It can have its side effects, right?
Yeah.
And most of the times, and not all the time, but you can associate high blood pressure, you can associate type 2 diabetes, and even high cholesterol with that. So, uh, making it fun is one way to do it, and having a place that's accessible. That's why I appreciate you and what you're doing there in Edward, Mississippi. We don't want, everybody's not going to be like you when you guys start to drive to Jackson, right?
Right.
And so, making it fun. What other ways are you making it fun? I know music is a good thing, and do they feel like it's a part of a community that they come into and they just have to be there?
They do. We do a lot of back and forth texting throughout the week. I always encourage them, if the Lord lays it in your spirit, send a message out because you never know
What
what
they
state
going?
of mind a person is in or what decision they battling with. Do I eat this? Am I gonna do right today? Am I gonna walk today? So randomly they'll send out messages throughout the day and when we come and meet for our meetings, they'll share that when you sent that message, I was just about to do this. And when you sent that message, I went on and did this. So this week
Wow.
we've been sharing our movement, because I challenged them all to try to make a certain amount of steps. So just incorporating things like that. And then, conversation is always, it's good because you can see that you might have been struggling and she was too, and you just shared, but then we come up with a solution of how we can overcome it. So
So it's more like a support group.
it is. It is.
Yeah. And we all need each other.
Definitely.
We're in this together.
Definitely.
Everybody may be at different stages, but we have struggles and we need to be there supporting each other.
Definitely.
Yeah. So they appreciate that line of
That's
communication,
what
huh?
it is.
Yeah.
Community and communication, yes.
So what is it that drives you to do? Because this is a lot. What drives you to do this? What you do?
First, I feel my calling is just being a servant. And when I learn something, I always want. I'm not the type to want to hold everything. I like to be able to give, and so whatever area that is, that's what I want to do. If long as God gives me, my mind and the movement, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna give. Like in the salon daily, I know I can't thrive if people aren't coming to the salon getting their hair done, but I'm gonna tell you what to do in between time. And then, you never know the financial situation of a person. So if you cannot make it back, look, this is what you need to do. So I'm just all about giving back. It's not always about getting in, but giving, because God gave us His one and only. So I want to be able to give. So I have a servant's heart, and I want to see people at their best and doing their best. So,
That's amazing, and I can really appreciate that. And here's the reason why. Because when you have a gift, it's not for you, it's for others.
yes.
And most people don't understand that, and they're trying to hold on, and they're not benefiting. Other people are not benefiting from your gift, and everybody should be benefiting from your gift, and you benefit from other people's gift.
Exactly.
I'm sure you learn from people who sit down in your chair in the salon and people at your gym, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you even learn from your children too, can't you?
You do.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah. So, how many, when you first opened the gym, how many people did you start with? I mean, did you get discouraged, Angie?
No. So when it started out, it was, it was big,
Okay, started out big.
So
Okay.
yeah. So my class sizes, they were pretty decent, but as time has gone by, it has dwindled.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the other side of it is the people who just want to come in and work out on their own. That kind of picked up. So I was also doing one-on-one training in the beginning. I haven't done any of that lately, but God always has a way. So that's where the diabetes program came in right on time when everything was kind of going down, where that supplements, whatever isn't produced by just the gym itself. So with that, the people in the diabetes program, I offered them a membership at a discounted rate to motivate them to come. So
That really tugs at my heart with the diabetes type 2 because, of course, my mom and my aunties, because when I said mama and them, I'm talking about mama and aunties and stuff like that. That diabetes type 2 is something that is causing people to lose limbs, okay? Like a good example, Angie, I was shown a report out of every 100,000 people in Mississippi, there's 127.9 amputees.
wow.
Now, nationally, okay, this is nationally, out of every 100,000 people, there's only 45.5 amputees.
Wow.
That's major in Mississippi.
Yeah.
That's a major difference. That's almost
we
3 times.
carrying the numbers, right?
We are carrying the numbers, and you're making some changes when you educate people like that. How are you enjoying that part of it? I know it's kind of new, but how are you enjoying that? Because, seeing your grandma with all the medicine, and a lot of these people are taking a lot of medicine. I always quote Steve Jobs, the implement. He said that if you don't make food your medicine, then medicine will become your food.
Wow. When I said I was gonna write that down the last time, you said I gotta get that because that is it's true because going back to what I said earlier, we want to live in a moment and indulge, saying it's okay, but it's not okay because the more you say it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that, it becomes a habit and
Yeah.
a norm, and you lose sight of the effects that this food is causing. So, we really just have to pay attention to what's on those food labels.
Mm.
And if it didn't come from the earth, it's been processed in some shape, form, or fashion. And then all the stuff we add for flavor. That's the main thing they ask me because some of the stuff I eat, I try to introduce it to them. They be like, how it tastes.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's all about that taste.
Everything is not just going to be so good initially, but you have to train yourself to love these things because that's the only thing that's going to love you the way you want to be loved in the end. Because who wants to be sick? You're loving what you're tasting at that moment, but that food that's from the earth that hasn't been processed it loves you more because in the end it's going to give you the better outcome. So just try to encourage them to make better choices.
One of the things that I always say, if you want to be healthy and stay around, eat from the ground. Because the body knows what to do with the food that's coming from the earth.
Mhm.
It can process it better. It
Yes.
will do these things
Yes.
and has more fiber in it,
Mhm.
and that's what the body needs. But you said something earlier that we start eating and then we forget how what we're eating, and I'm paraphrasing here, affect you. And we just keep doing it. We don't even realize it anymore.
Because we get caught up in the taste.
Get caught up in the taste of it.
Mhm.
And I tell people now, I love good tasting food, but it just
Yeah.
has to be good for my body.
Right.
If it's not good for my body, it is non-negotiable.
Mhm.
I'm not going to try and negotiate with my kidneys because I saw my mom on kidney dialysis. I don't play when it comes to my kidneys. And I'm not going to go to my kidneys and say, look, kidneys, I know y'all need this, but you ain't getting it today because I got to get something else. You know, it's okay to talk to your liver, your lungs, and your kidneys. They're yours, right? We have to treat them like they're our children, and we have to respect them and give them what they need to help us, right? Because literally they stick with us, don't they?
They do. You can't change them out.
You can't.
I mean, if you do, that's a major situation. So, yeah.
And
You have to love your body like it's the only one.
Because
And a lot of times we don't.
I know.
We depending on medicines that it might be given to you to help aid in some way, but look at the many different ways it's hurting you. Because
Right.
you take something to help for your diabetes, keep your numbers down, but what else is it killing? You know?
Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I tell people all the time, you may take one medication, just using high blood pressure for an example, for the blood,
Mhm.
for your blood pressure, but then later on you're gonna have to take something for the medication that you're taking for the blood.
And it keeps going
And
on
it-
and on and on. Mhm.
Yeah. And so when we should look at food as medicine, like my Help My Mississippi, our purpose is to empower people to view food as medicine and to embrace a plant-based diet for a healthier life. I just want people looking at food as medicine, like you said, reading those. You got to know, look at those labels. Look, this, what's my ingredients, right? I got to look at that. I need to know what I'm putting into this precious body. You know, in other words, what you said, you got to treat it like it's the only one you're gonna get.
Mhm.
Cause on this side, unless they changed this last week, now you only get one on
That's
this
it.
side,
That's it.
and we need to make the best of it. Treat it like it's the precious body.
Just like you said,
Yeah.
precious.
Yeah.
Like we do a baby, we are so gentle with it. We want them to have the best.
Wow.
But at this point, be like, oh, it's okay. That's what a lot of people say. It's okay. It's okay. I do better tomorrow, and tomorrow goes into next week, into next month. We just have to be like Nike. We gotta just do it. We gotta just do it right now. When is the best time? Now.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I know you're gonna have to leave in a second, right? But I have can we take a break real quick? All right, Margaret, let's take a break. And love this song. It's our theme song.
Can you send me the link for this?
All right, we're back with Angie, our CC for this month, a community champion, and she's doing a remarkable job. So this part of the show, Angie, here's what I do. I usually It's called Who Am I? I name a food and all the benefit of this food, and the audience are going to guess what food it is.
Okay.
Okay. So this is who I am. Who am I? Okay. I am a nutritious and versatile grain. That's the first tip that offers several health benefits. Here are 10 of them. I am rich in nutrients. I am packed with essential vitamins and minerals, including vitamin C, magnesium, and potassium, which support overall health. I am high in fiber. The fiber in me aids digestion, prevent constipation, and support gut health. Okay, who am I? Uh, I'm a good source of antioxidant. I contain antioxidant like lutein, and which helps protect the eyes from age-related damage. I support your heart. The fiber and potassium in me can help regulate blood pressure, lower cholesterol level. Look at me. I boost your energy. I'm a good source of complex carbohydrate, providing a steady and release of energy. I don't just give it to you, bam, at one time. I just steadily release it, and it gets better and better. I aid in weight loss. The fiber in me promotes helps to control appetite and prevent overeating. I make you feel satisfied, right? I support your eyes. What I do, the lutein in me, reduce the risk of cataract. Make sure you tell the old people. Muscular degeneration. Man, I'm pretty powerful. I am yellow. Okay, remember I said I'm a grain and I'm yellow. I regulate. I regulate blood sugar. I'm trying to see if somebody gets guessing it online. Uh, I have a low to moderate glycemic index, which can help manage blood sugar level in moderation. Okay. I improve your skin health. The antioxidant and vitamin C in me contribute to collagen production and protect the skin from damage. I'm yellow. Okay. Uh, I'm gluten free. And so I'm the best gluten-free alternative you can have. I am naturally gluten-free, making it a great choice for those who are gluten intolerant and can't tolerate your gluten. You can enjoy me in moderation. I could be popped. I could be collared. Do you know? I'm yellow. I can be popped. I could be boiled. I could be grilled. I can be popped. Who am I? Who am I? Can somebody tell me who am I? Yes, you're right, Jane. I am corn. Absolutely. That's amazing. So all the health benefits of food. And so you and I are going to get together, and I'm going to be in your community, and we're going to do some cooking demonstration. I'm going to be able to do that. And I'm also going to be at this Saturday at New Jerusalem Church at 5708 Old Canton Road, between 12 and 3. This Saturday, and then next Saturday I'll be at Jackson Police Academy in the mornings at 9, and then I'll be at the East Center at 11 at Our Heart, Our Health, a gathering of Black mothers. I'll be there. We're gonna be all over the place. I want to be like you, Angie. I want to be in that community. I want to make a difference in that community. And that's why I'm glad that we were able to team up and, stick together. I'm always going to be there when you need me. And people need good tasting food.
Yes.
but it has to be good for the bodies, and they need to be moving, right? All right, so tell people how they can reach you, and what's the best way to get in touch with you, and tell all the folks in Edwards and Bolton and Vicksburg so where they can come. Raymond, yeah, talk to us.
You can, if you're on Facebook, you can just find me, Angie Miles Griffin. My phone number is 601-529-3516. The name of the gym is Cut and Fit Wellness Club. So I also have a page with the gym information on there. But yeah, that's it. Angie Miles Griffin, 601-529-3516. It's simple. I'm not big. I'm just a simple girl trying to do some things to help better people's health as well as their relationship with God, because I also invite people to the church, whenever I have an opportunity. So,
well, we always say here that we're focused on better health, mind, body, medicine, and we want to make sure we get that whole body in. But you're not big, but you're doing some big things that we can't deny that. You're doing some big things. And first of all, I just want to say right here, I'm proud to recognize you as a community champion, to be here on My Help My Mississippi. Mostly because you decided to stay home in Atwood, Mississippi. And listen, if y'all listening to us from some of these big cities, you just don't know. Less than 1,000 people there. She was born there, raised there, and stayed there. Now making a difference there. That's a community champion. So I want to say happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy helping people, because you're going to continue to do that. Just doing some major things. And I know you got a hair appointment, not for you, but somebody may be waiting on you. And we don't want you held up any longer. So
I appreciate the opportunity to come and speak today. And I appreciate the connection. Be able to call somebody and they step right in, that's a blessing. So
listen, we're in the same boat trying to do the same thing. And I'm so appreciative of WMPR 80.1 and the management team here, Mr. Jones. We're always trying to make a difference. And this particular station have always been that cornerstone for our community. And we got to use it to reach people and invite them to come to our community so that they can get the helpful information that type 2 diabetes is not mandatory. Right. Mama, daddy, so many of my people are losing their legs and their limbs, and you don't have to, and that bothers me. And that's why I get excited. So, girl, yes, I'll be there. I started bringing some beans this morning because I remember you taste something. I started bringing some. Listen, that was some good stuff. But I'll be in the community. We'll announce it. You're going to set up a date for me to come. I don't care if one person is there or 20 people are there. It doesn't matter. We're going to have some fun, but you're going to leave there different when you're able to taste some food that's going to make a difference in your life for the rest of your life. So write me down and let's set it up and let's do it. Okay, we'll be in touch. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. And again, happy birthday, happy anniversary. That is Angie Miles Griffin, you say? Yeah. I got it. Doing some great things in the community, the big city of Atwood, Mississippi. Doesn't get any better than that, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Now, that's a real community champion there, and we need more of them. And we're thankful that we can make some things happen and be a blessing to people. And if you will, wherever you are, connect with somebody that's trying to make a difference, and you too be a difference maker. How can you be a difference maker? Well, first of all, wherever you go, be who you are. And here's what I mean by that. Just because you're in a setting where other people may be eating things that's not good for their body, you need to continue to respect your body. Be who you are, where you are. And this doesn't mean that it's easy, okay? Because, people always think about, they think about children with peer pressure. No, adults, we deal with this peer pressure stuff too. You go out to eat with people, and they're eating all this other stuff, and the first thing you want to do is what? You start eating it. And your condition is different than their condition, and their condition is different than your condition. And you shouldn't be just doing things because other people are doing it, because it could affect you different than it affects them. So my take on it is, be who you are where you are. First of all, feed your mind by giving it the education. Don't ever miss this show. I mean, the number one show on the radio talking about your health. This is feeding your mind. That's what you want to do. There may be some other podcasts or things that you're listening to. Uh, and I want you to always feed that mind, because this is what's going to lead you, like Angie was talking about, spiritually, physically, and mentally. We got to be prepared, guys. We got to be prepared. We have to develop habits, and these habits need to be the habits that we want to live with. Because in the beginning, you develop habits, but in the end, the habits will develop you. You ask people how hard it is to stop drinking. You ask people how hard it is to stop smoking. Those are two things that we know that is harming us. But we don't look at food as harming us. And food is doing more damage than any of those. And I'm not saying that alcohol is good to drink. I'm not saying smoking is good, but I'm just saying one thing that we all have in common is that's eating. I've never smoked, I never drank, but I do eat. So we do have that in common. But food it's been weaponized against us. Okay. I'm not gonna call a name, but a lot of these fast food chains now, they're coming back strong. Okay. Here's what they're saying. They're saying that their numbers are down. In other words, they can't afford people not to come there daily and eat with them. So they bringing the value meals back. All of them, they bring you the value meal. So what does a value meal mean? Here's what it means. It means it's valuable to them. So they're gonna sell you this stuff at a reasonable, cheap price. It's cheap. Like, it's not gonna be the dollar meal, but it's similar. It's something that you can afford to do without thinking about it. And that's what they want you to do. They want you to be able to buy this fast food without thinking about it costing you a lot. Okay. So you purchase it, and you eat it. Now, it's costing you something in the long run, although it may not be costing you but $2 or $3 right now. But the value has nothing to do with the quality. The value, they're putting a dollar value on it. But when it comes to quality, man, most of the food there has no fiber and is loaded with oil. You can name any of the fast food places, okay? It's going to be loaded with fat, salt, and oil. And it's going to have zero to very little fiber. And if it's meat, because we know meat has zero fiber, we know dairy has zero fiber, we know egg has zero fiber. And fiber is what the body needs. Okay. We need to be getting at least 30 to 40 grams of fiber per day. And the standard American diet, we're getting 5 to 10 grams per day. We gotta do better. Fiber is to the body what Drano is to a stopped up sink. Y'all, We need the fiber in our body. So where do we get fiber from? We get fiber from our plants. We get fiber from our fruits, fiber from our grains, okay? Fiber from our beans and our peas. Those are the categories that we need to focus on, because this is what's going to help us get rid of high blood pressure. This is what's going to help us to get rid of type 2 diabetes. This is what's going to help us to get rid of high cholesterol, okay? Again, the 4 categories that I want to make sure that you start including, along with the corn that we talked about, because the corn is a grain, and all these health benefits of corn, man, that is absolutely amazing. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that you're getting every week, every day, some legume, some beans or some peas, okay? I don't care if the beans are coming out of the can, you get low sodium, you rinse those babies off, right? And you go for it. If you're going to use your dry beans, you soak those babies overnight and you cook them until they're soft and you go for it, okay? That's high fiber and low fat. And this is how you deal with diabetes type 2. You can't deal with diabetes by putting food in your body that doesn't have any fiber, that's staying in the body, that's blocking the cells, okay? You can't do that, okay? The other thing you need to do is make sure we get some green vegetables. What do I always say? Can we get the greens into our bloodstream? Absolutely. Our blood need to be flowing like water, so we got to get the greens into our bloodstream. We got to do that. And then we got to have some fruits. Now look, don't tell me what fruits you don't like, and because there's so many different kinds out there, find some that you do like, okay? All the different colors, guys, right? We just got to do it. We got to do it. Don't tell me you had some last week, because your fruits are going to contain a lot of vitamin C. And vitamin C, and in your green vegetables, going to have some vitamin C too, but it's not as much. But vitamin C is not stored in the body. So you need to replenish it when? Every day. Every day. So make sure you're getting that into your system, okay? And then let's start moving. We had Angie this morning was talking about whether you're doing chair exercise. Doesn't really matter, but we just need to start moving. We're not talking about you running a marathon here, but we are talking about you moving. When you are moving, your body is going to respond to the food that you're eating better. It's going to digest things better, because you're active. I think the body was built, the body was created to move. And so don't let the television control you. You control it. In other words, don't just sit there every day and not move just because you have a show that's coming on. Let's make some things happen, okay? Caller, you on the air? You have a question or comment?
Good morning. How you doing today? You doing all right?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing great. I like listening to WMPR. You got a great show. And I just listen to you. What about the meat intake? I know you're not on that, but if you can shoot what kind of meat we should eat if we're going to eat meat. That'll be it.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call and thanks for listening. Listen, I appreciate you all listening and calling in with some concerns. And I want to definitely get to the question about, if you're going to eat meat, what should you eat? And I want to be straight up and real. Just because I don't eat meat, I know everybody that's listening to me are not in that same boat. I used to eat meat, So I'm not going to be condemning anybody as to what you should eat or what you shouldn't eat. I'm just going to give you the best information that I believe that you need. I always say if we had more food education, we'll be on less medication. Now, here's what I would do, and here's what I did when I was eating meat. First of all, I stopped eating all red meat, period, and I became a pescatarian first, which means I just did fish, right? That was part of my journey. Let's talk about it, okay? But before I went to only having fish, I was eating the chicken. I didn't fry any of it. Why wasn't I frying it? Well, first of all, you're adding so much oil when you start frying stuff, and oil has a way of blocking your arteries, and then the meat has a way of getting fat into the cell. So you're really hurting yourself both ways there. So you add an additional fat. So if you are going to, or where you are in your journey may be to eat as healthy as possible, don't add any oil to whatever you're cooking or however you're cooking. Does that make sense? Stop adding the oil. They have air fryer. If you don't have air fryer, you bake things now. You can grill things. I'm not advocating it, but I'm for real about life. Okay, you can't stop people. And just because I don't eat meat, I'm not going to bash you over your head because you do eat meat, okay? But I do want you to know that if you're going to, it would be better if you baked it. That makes sense? And the other thing is, you got to look at what's easier on the body. What can the body break down better, okay? That was my reasoning to become a pescatarian. And the pescatarian is when you just have seafood. So during my journey, before I stopped eating all meat, and fish is meat, I became a pescatarian. Okay, I was only consuming fish, or at the time, or other seafood, and I was doing it because it doesn't stay in my system as long as white meat or red meat. Make sense? So thank you, caller, for that, and I appreciate you listening. I will never, ever come down on anybody about what they're eating, of what they're eating. I understand it's a journey, and we've been taught wrong for so long, but I do want you to know our protein don't have to come from meat. We can get our beans are king and queens of protein. So we can get our proteins from these other areas, okay? So that was a good call. I always want to be real. Yes, I used to eat meat. Now because I don't, we're not bashing anybody. Everybody's different though. At this point, I want you to do what's best for your body. And I need you to get the fruits and the vegetable. Because let me say this too now. Just because you don't give your body the vitamins and the proper nutrients that it needs, it doesn't mean that the body don't need it. Your body needs certain nutrients. And if your body is not getting those nutrients from your plants and your fruits and your grains and your legumes, your body's going to be deficient. And the first thing you're going to do is run to the doctor because you're not feeling good, when you should be running to food, because that's where your nutrients are. And again, I'm not saying don't stop taking your medication if you're on medication. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to start looking at food as medicine. Does that make sense? We got to start looking at food as medicine. Again, My Help My Mississippi, our purpose is to empower you to view food as medicine and to embrace more of a plant-based diet for a healthier lifestyle. I know what will help your body feel good. And if you want to be healthy, stay around, eat from the ground. All of your nutrients come from those plants and those, your fruits, and it's just certain. The body know how to work with that. But when you give it foreign things that has no fiber, everything gets stuck. Well, thank you for your question. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for listening to My Help My Mississippi. Listen, WMPR 90.1, number one station in the nation that's providing you with some healthy, helpful information. And I'm not ashamed or afraid to say this is the best show on the radio. My Help, My Mississippi. You can always reach me at myhelpmymississippi.com. Send me comments, or you can give me a text at 601-940-4940. You're the best, and we want to thank you for being a part of this show. And I will see you next Thursday morning at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Have a wonderful day. Call you on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I have a question I would like to ask you.